Hi everybody, I'm J.D.Blackrose, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a reading for you from the Soul Wars. And I am dressed like this because I am going to do this for you a little bit in character. So the book starts off with a character named Adelaide Beauchamp, and Adelaide is a New Orleans society lady, a little older now. And I imagine her dressed a little bit like this. But this is what I have in the house. This is, just so everyone knows, this is April 2020, which means this is quarantine time. And this is what I have in the house. So I have my pearls, I have my hat, and I'm going to read it like Adelaide Beauchamp. The Soul Wars. Holy Mother of God, muttered Adelaide Beauchamp, née Rochon, using the strongest language she ever allowed herself. That vampire thinks he can buy my land, my family's land. He's too big for his britches. She sliced a piece of pecan pie and nicked her left thumb. Her hands unsteady with age and anger, she sucked her bleeding thumb and abandoned the pie. She continued to talk to the ghosts in the house. I may be the last of our line, she said, walking through the mansion, caressing the priceless antique furniture. But no perversion of nature is getting his hands on Rochon or Beauchamp property. The house ghost rattled the chandeliers in agreement. Now stop that, Adelaide admonished, hurrying to the dining room to check on a crystal light fixture from the 1800s. They may not stay up. At 80, she stooped over with a widow's hump and a belly pooch that looked as if all the fat in her body had either traveled up or fallen down to her midsection. She lived with a Creole woman a short 10 years younger than her employer, who now stood at the entrance to the kitchen. Ma'am, a few more wall tiles fell, and the paint is peeling badly. Should I call the repairman? Too expensive, Mathilde. Let's make do for now. When Mr. Beauchamp was alive, we kept the house in pristine condition. That was 25 years ago, Mathilde. Louise has been gone for over 2 decades. But with the house falling into disrepair like this, we cannot have any parties or teas. It just wouldn't do. You have a reputation to protect. My days as a society lady are long gone. Do what we always do, hide it with a painting. Yes'm. Mathilde sniffed and turned her back, exited with precise, crisp steps. Adelaide studied the woman's back as Mathilde exited, and then she extracted a parchment envelope from her pocket, running her uninjured thumb over the wax seal, and read the contents for the umpteenth time. The message was delivered by a human, of that she was sure. Since it was dropped off in the middle of the day, the delivery man had exquisite manners and spoke in a lyrical, old-world French. She fumed at the memory. Employing formal etiquette made it impossible for her to refuse the envelope. That Gaspard Basset had outmaneuvered her. Adelaide sat at an old escritoire, an antique writing desk that she still used, and compared Basset's note to another from the Historical Society. The Historical Society had agreed to consider the home and its trappings as a Louisiana heritage site. The photos of our ancestors rattled in their frames. Hush, she said to the pictures. That creature is not getting this land or this house for a long time, hopefully never. She pounded her walking stick on the hardwood, picked up the receiver of her antique phone, and called for her driver. She was going to meet the lion in his own den. She patted her hair, straightened her pearls, and took measured strides to the car, concentrating on keeping her breath steady. Rochons and Beauchamps do not show fear. The main entryway of Gaspard Basset's mansion was heavily guarded, and the cameras recorded activity from every angle. The tall, blonde Nordic woman who drove that monster truck was most likely responsible for all the extra security, Adelaide thought. The guard at the gate stopped the car, and her driver, Noel, the 18-year-old son of her first driver, handed the guard her greeting card. The guard motioned for her to roll down her window as well. Sorry, ma'am, but I need you to exit the vehicle so we can inspect it and check you for weapons. You must be kidding, young man. I'm not getting out of my own car so you can pat me down like a common criminal. The whip crack of her voice made the guard step back and mutter, sorry, ma'am, a reflex programmed into children of the South, some from birth. He hurried into the guard box and placed a call. Meanwhile, the other guards swept the underside of the black town car for bombs. She seethed. Who did he think he was, this vampire? The guard on the phone gave a thumbs up. The other guards did a visual inspection of the interior of the vehicle and completed the scan of the external body. Then the head guard said, "You can go in, Mrs. Beauchamp. Monsieur Basset is expecting you." As she and Noel waited for the gate to slide open, she heard the head guard say, "Kara is not going to like this breach in protocol." A second guard replied, "Well, I'm not going to be the one to tell her. She'd kick my ass." Can you believe she carries an actual sword? She has a shield, too. I don't think she's human. The drive up to the house took another 10 minutes. "No," Adelaide said. "Did you know that this house originally belonged to the LaRue family? They died out years ago." No, ma'am, but I'm sure my pa remembers. They had the most extravagant balls in this house. I can still recall kissing the LaRue boy in the rose garden." The teenager swallowed and willed that mental image away. "Sounds fun, ma'am." She knew the house's electricity and plumbing had been completely replaced, and she assumed the kitchen was redone. The exterior and the gardens were returned to their former glory, but the statues had been replaced with more security-friendly, low stone walkways and benches. Adelaide felt like she was moving into a beautiful bunker. Noel opened the car door for her, and she exited the vehicle holding his hand. He walked her to the entrance, where a butler and more security greeted them. A suited man with a crew cut held Noel back. "I'm sorry, son, but you can't come in with Mrs. Beauchamp." Noel raised his eyebrows and glanced at Adelaide. She patted his hand. "It'll be all right, Noel. I won't be long, so please stay with the car." Noel nodded, reminding herself that she was a Beauchamp and a Beauchamp. Adelaide entered the vampire's lair. The entryway was illuminated by lights that somehow mimicked both the warmth of the sun and the elegance of the stars. The ceiling soared, revealing an arched staircase leading on both sides to the second balcony. The floor tile was a white and black pattern, and the walls were painted a light blush. Ornate mirrors graced both sides of the entrance to further refract the light, creating an experience of floating through the midday sky. A voice said, "Welcome to my home, Madame Beauchamp." Adelaide turned her head toward the voice which emanated from the entrance of the sitting room. His baritone was silky smooth, with a slight edge, like whiskey on ice. The man who addressed her wore a custom blue pinstripe suit with a lighter blue tie and a matching pocket square. His long, dark hair, marred only by a white streak from his left temple, was pulled back into a queue held by a blue ribbon. The last time she had seen him, his hair had been cut short. She wondered, how could a dead person grow hair? I hope you enjoyed that. That's Adelaide meeting Gaspard, the vampire who is one of the main characters in the book. That's him. And of course, this is one of the most important characters in the book, Kara, the Valkyrie. So if you liked True Blood, and you thought, gosh darn, if only True Blood had a Valkyrie in it, this is the book for you. It's got vampire sex and adventure, and it's got a little mythology in it, and it's fun and snarky and exciting, and it's got some real great romance too. And I think if you like things by, Faith Hunter, like I said, True Blood, that whole kind of thing, that sort of Southern Gothic vampire romance, but also some really good snarky fun and adventure, I think you'll really like this book. Thanks for watching.